Yeah, it's a Do Not God video production. Yeah, we'll call it that. An amendum video. Yes. They're rarely in between the what the fucks, but, it's the way it's been. So, see how things go in the future. Anyway, some old, it's like old folks week or something. The nursing home let all the, the old farts out for a week or something. I mean, Professor Anton, Thou Art That, Matt Guy, and now N.D. Clark and Christopher Seven have made videos, really. So anyway, it's kind of funny. So anyway, I'm going to do a response video to one of those, and just pointing out Google is evil. Just if you've forgotten. They really just use their own discretion to decide what is free speech and what isn't free speech. It's just what speech they like and what speech they don't like, and that's all it is. And we're letting a corporation decide for us, who's has a platform, and it's really stupid. So there's no point in pointing out what's really stupid because nobody's going to do anything about it. Everybody's just too busy doing their whatever, pretending everything's okay. So no point in the current atmosphere anyway. You can't generate any interest in anything. But anyway, certainly can't generate any interest among the people who have the means, financial, to actually stage some sort of rebellion, against the bullshit. But anyway, all we can do is try, and so I will try. So this is N.D. Clark. He was with the Vloggerheads, I think. Vloggerheads, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, people are people. It's always worth seeing where they are and why they are, and how to interact and communicate. So we did have past conversations. Blah 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 blah, and it's always the same sort of argument: pessimism against optimism, which frankly doesn't really get to the core of it. Like, what can we prove? You can keep having this argument back and forth about some judgment of the temperature. So I mean, saying the water's too hot, and I'm saying no, the water's too cold. Too cold for what? He says these are acceptable failures that exist in our in the lithosphere. So the lithosphere, he'll concede it has some dirty bits, but it's not enough dirt to worry about. It's all okay. Whatever the positive is, it's way overcoming the negatives, and we really just don't need to worry about anything, and so we should just sit around and be happy or something. We're winning. So just know that we're winning and everything is okay, and so you don't really have to change your game any. Just be distracted by your minutia and your bullshit, and the Nazis are taking Europe, so what? It's not your problem. Just eat some American spaghetti and screw it. Whatever. So yes, so this is a conversation you have to have over and over and over and over and over again with a bunch of people who are going to tell me they know it's all okay. My suffering doesn't matter. It's incidental because he and his club are having such a good time that it doesn't matter if I'm uncomfortable and I'm miserable or any of that stuff. It doesn't matter how many victims, there just aren't enough of them to worry about. Let's just keep motorboating. So we hit a few swimmers now and then, crack their skulls open. So what? No big deal. It's not like they got eaten by a shark. Anyway, there's no grounding to the conversation, so it's almost a pointless conversation. He neither will address the imposition argument, the imposing risk argument, which is birthers are taking on a responsibility that's way above their grade level. They have no competence to be controlling this experiment. They're taking an overt risk. The risk has catastrophic results, and you just don't care that they didn't read the instructions, that they have done no preparation, that they have no qualifications. They're just going to spread the insecticide and hope they get lucky and just hit the bugs. So that argument won't be addressed. And the fundamental argument from evolution won't be addressed, that we're just bugs. Bugs don't do nice things. Selfish little creatures trying to steal other creatures' energy, and that's all it is. It's an exploitation matrix. It's just who exploits best wins, period. And all the rest is just made up nonsense about some accomplishment somewhere. There's no accomplishment. There's just a lot of dead bugs. Used up.
I was watching another one of Linden's videos. I frequently do. I enjoy. Even though what I see mostly is a pessimism toward the world.
Well, whatever. What you see, no, it's what you hear, first off. And it's a mild description. I mean, I'm not showing you the world. I'm not even taking advantage the way I could. I could show you the little Chinese kid getting run over 768 times before somebody even pulls his body off the road. I could show you lots of things, okay, that just demonstrate how bleak and harsh it is, this reality. I could show you the nursing home pictures and just say, look, 40% of you are going to end up here doing this. That's not going to be a fun ride. That's when the roller coaster goes all bad. Like I said, it's all fun until it flies off the tracks, and you got somebody's cotton candy impaled in your brain.
Now, I don't agree with the pessimism, and I don't agree.
Yeah, well, whatever. Okay, fine. You don't agree that there's nasty, and you don't agree that you don't have a right to impose nasty on somebody. So you don't agree with the fundamental premises that there's too much nasty, that there's nasty in the first place, and that you don't have a right to take these risks and say to the victims, I don't care, okay? We're having fun. We're going to Disneyland. The fact that it's going to give you cancer and a brain tumor and your eyes are going to fall out, we don't care, okay? We're having fun. So fuck you, complainer. That's really all you're saying, okay? I know you're not trying to say that, but that's all you're saying. You're just showing what an insensitive moron you are, okay? That you have some right, that you can tell other people, I'm going to force it on you, whether you like it or not. Even though I can give you 4 million examples, it's exactly what you're doing. You're taking your little child that you give birth to, you're throwing it on a tightrope, and there's every probability 40% of those kids are going to end up disabled before they're 40 years old. Or 50. Their life isn't going to be charmed, asshole. And you can keep pretending it is. And some of them are going to catastrophically fall. They're not going to just fall and break a leg. They're not going to just fall and be limping for the rest of their life. No, they're going to spend the entire time, the rest of their existence, in a kind of torment. And it's all because you say it's okay. There's only two choices here. You say it's okay or you don't say it's okay. You do something to stop it. You say, hey, stop doing that. It's not a good idea. It's dangerous. It causes harm. You think you're accomplishing something. I'm saying what? You're saying I'm a pessimist because I don't see that you doing the twist. Okay, I could watch you dancing and I could say, fuck, he thinks that's an accomplishment. He thinks that's a piece of art. That's really cool. I mean, holy fuck. That's worth torturing a child for? No, it isn't. I mean, all the bad that's going to happen, that everybody's going to experience, and everybody will experience some of it. Sorry, here. Is because you can't say, hey, you really don't have a right to impose that. You're creating the victims, and you're just glib and like, oh yeah, I'm just being human and just doing the human thing. I'm doing a cliche, go, go, go human. I mean, you're just putting on your silly little sponge finger in the stupid little crowd and going, rah, rah. I mean, it's like naming your dog Fido. You're not even making a profound or new or interesting argument. You're just going, you're being too negative. And you're going to prove it with no evidence. Sorry, but, this is lame. So he has to put this definition of pessimistic here for us. Is that Google's definition? What corporation tells you that's what it means? Tending to see things, to see the worst aspect. Oh, you mean not just to see it in a balanced way, right? So, again, What if the worst aspect is the most important aspect? Again, nuclear meltdown is the worst aspect of a nuclear power plant. Well, how much should you ignore that possibility, right? How much should you pretend it ain't going to happen? All right, anyway. Of things or believe that the worst will happen. I mean, you can say that I'm not probabilistically understanding. Okay, go ahead and make that argument. See, that's what it's veiled in. This word pessimism is veiled in some notion that because I think cancer, is a threat to my comfort, that somehow I think there's a 100% chance I'm going to get cancer or something. No, I mean 50-50 is enough of a risk, right, for somebody to be wary of something, or 1 in 25, right? I mean 25%, 1 in 4. I mean, you're just telling me that okay, that the fact that, well, ALS only affects, a tiny percentage of the human race, therefore we can just pretty much ignore it as a real factor. And I could do that through all the 1 million other diseases, though. There's 1 million conditions. Well, not a million. Let's even just say there's 1,000 hidden horrors that still exist as real things. I mean, leprosy and polio and all that stuff still exists out there, still happening to people. Newsflash.
With the nihilism type of.
So the word doesn't have any relevance to anything I'm talking about. I mean, quite obviously, I'm not annihilating anything. I'm not pretending we don't have comfort. I'm not pretending we don't have yummy ice cream, or whatever your treat is, yummy peach or broccoli. That you don't have yummy moments in life. I'm not pretending those don't exist. I'm not being nihilistic, and I'm clearly not a nihilist in the sense I clearly think the suffering has huge significance. The pain and suffering is real. It happens in a moment of time. It happens as a real event, and it can't be negated because, oh, well, it's over. Well, so what? It doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean it didn't have any value. It's part of the price you've been paying. Just as the stuff that doesn't happen to me is still a reality. The horrors are happening right now. There's people right now in horrible anguish right now. It's not happening to me, but I'm not nihilistic enough to think it doesn't exist because I'm not going to experience it. And again, you're just preaching from a bullshit choir because you haven't gotten cancer and died of it. And yet you're going to tell me it's worth it. I know it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. No, you're not making an argument that I'm a pessimist because I recognize it as possibly not worth it. Because I have some notion that maybe it won't be worth it. Oh, fuck. Anyway, so there's no argument here. There's just this idea that I'm going to imply that you have corrupted thinking, that you are not being honest and logical to the truth, the underlying great truth. Is going to be what? You still believe in God? What do you believe in? Quantum magic? What do you think it all going to end? And what do you think there'll be? What will the statement in the end be? People right now are gleefully happy when they watch, like say, a black man fail because they're a racist, and so they watch some black man be humiliated, and they get all excited. Oh man, that's so cool. They do that right now, and so they're feeling good. What are they feeling good about? Garbage. And the truth is, no matter what you're feeling good about, you want 99.99% chance that has nothing to do with anything really nice for the world. That anything you feel good about is some petty, superficial thing where, like you have, put the perfect woman on a little pedestal or something, or the perfect this, and that's what you're getting off on. It has no real credibility. It has no, you're not seeing her inner beauty. You're not seeing any of this other stuff. You're just doing something very crass, very crude, and you're enjoying it. And it's garbage. We enjoy beating other people in a contest. We don't enjoy winning. We enjoy beating them. Being better than them. It's not a good thing. Okay? It's a bad thing.
and I'll say not type, because I can't really pigeonhole his.
Oh, yeah, whatever. You know, is that what you're supposed to do, is pigeonhole it? Is that what we're supposed to do, is put everything in just some moron category? Commie, conservative, you know, some kind of bullshit like that? Is that what your only intention is, to sit there and figure out what pigeonhole you can shove up, you know, somebody into? No, there's no point in doing that. Okay, make an argument relevant to the points. There's only 2 points here. Where did you get the right from to tell other people it's worth it? And the underlying argument is, well, even though you might argue that you are entitled to your opinion, which I don't think you're entitled to because it's impositional, it's aggressive, you're the one imposing risk. I'm the one defending not imposing risk. And even beyond that, the elemental argument, the fundamental argument is you're an asshole and an idiot to think that this is all stuff you can negate, that you can pretend it's all okay. It's a price worth paying. It's not a price worth paying. It's a price worth paying if you're the one not on the front line having to get shot at. You know, it's really easy for people who are sitting home. Yeah, go ahead, have a war, as long as I don't have to be in it. Yeah, that's just bullshit. You telling other people it's worth it.
Philosophy and say that, you know, it's all this or all that.
I didn't say it was all this or all that, so that's more horse shit. But the fact is that it's all chase, and that the chase is completely bullshit. That there's no good manufactured thought. Like, you don't have some, oh yeah, we are the world horniness. You don't get a boner for peace. You know, have a, oh God, I'm just so, oh, peace is so much, oh, it feels so good. None of that actually happens, and you know it. So we are satisfied and comfortable in a very subjective, very narrowly defined way. And it doesn't have anything to do with any real integrity. It's all plastic.
Say it's reductionism. Reductionism is a scientific hypothesis.
Reductionism is a stupid word to say. There's dissection. Okay, so I'm sure if aliens came here and they were causing us a little bit of discomfort, we would dissect one to figure out how they work. You know, anything. A little round ball shows up from outer space. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to dissect it because we're going to figure out, is it going to blow up? Is it radioactive? What's it up to? Who's controlling it? How's it controlled? We're going to figure all that crap out. So there's nothing wrong with dissecting what our motivations are, what the mechanism is, what the biology is, what the origins are. What does the thing really do, and how necessary is any of it? Why are we making a bunch of arbitrarily programmed robots, a bunch of Coke machines that don't really even produce Coke? They just talk and fart and make noises and pointlessly enslave each other. Yeah, that's not a cool thing to make.
It's about the physical world. But it seems, if I had to say what it was, he reduces the component parts of life, like all the things that we as humans do.
Well, whatever this is, we as humans do, which isn't anything different than what all the other organisms do, which is eke out comfort. And we're always seeking comfort. Humans can do it a little better because they can be smart. My argument, my pessimistic argument, my argument against your fluff is that most of what we're doing is scheming. We're scheming for our gratification, and we really don't care how much it costs somebody else. So you'll eat your animals because you just don't care what it costs them for you to have this easy put in the oven food thingy. You're just not considering anything real. The real economics is irrelevant.
And say and act on as reduced down to very simple terms.
It is very simple. We're really not that complicated. We're machines dependent on stealing energy to survive. Just a fact. We need a lot of it, and we have to take it from other things that have spent the time working hard to get it. And that's what we are. We're battery thieves.
Them in metaphor, which is awesome because metaphors help us to relate to philosophical ideas and thoughts. But he puts them all in a category and says, well, you know, in the end, it's all shit.
Well, I'm just saying that there's this huge price being paid, and then I'm saying for what? It's fool's gold, okay? So you want to say, no, it's real gold. I'm saying the only gold is your happiness, the moment you're happy. But what you're happy about usually is crap. Why you're happy is crap. Okay, all of that stuff is crap. It's like you dancing, you know, as the Titanic sinks. You know, you're completely unaware of any real economics here and any recognition of the real losses that are taking place.
All nothing. It's all worthless. You know, in
Well, how is it worth something? It's clearly we're not even atoms for the universe's upset stomach. We don't in any way solve any problem we don't create. We didn't clean up any mess that the universe makes. Okay, we only clean up a mess we make. We don't fix anything. We just break shit. Are you really going to argue there's something else we can do here besides you come into the world hungry and needy and wanty? You come into the world pessimistic in the sense that you're coming to the world asking for the world to give you something. You don't come into the world looking to give it something.
I don't think he really believes some of that.
Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I really believe everything I basically say. I mean, I can say things like, God, I wish you were dead. Maybe I don't really do that. But I just mean as a theme, it'd be just so much easier if you idiots didn't exist. I wouldn't have to make these videos.
Because he's obviously continued to live and does desire.
Yeah, I know. I continue to live because guess what? Nothing happens if somebody doesn't fight. All right? So, yeah, if you're going to say, okay, let the Nazis have Europe. Okay, that's the question, right? I mean, it's a real question. Should they just, well, okay, I'll just sit here and dance, or, you know, I'll eat animals and I'll do whatever makes me happy, and I'll just forget about there's any other consequences going on anywhere around me. And I'll completely ignore the fact that I know personally the way I got here was because nobody talked to my mother. Nobody even had a conversation with my father about, well, you know, you could live a lot more interesting life if you don't end up, you know, having to finance 4 kids. You know, you can do a lot more interesting things with your life, okay, than, you know, wiping snotty noses and trying to keep your kid from embarrassing you. You know, you can find something better to do. I mean, this isn't complicated questions. I mean, this is, we know most people are born to a moron, either because they're young, the person who's having the babies are young and stupid, or they're just practically a moron. They obviously can't be smart because they are wasting their time having kids. You know, they haven't spent enough time overcoming being a kid. They haven't grown up enough to know better. Ugh.
Are good things for people and good things for animals. Good.
Yeah. I wish happy for everything. La 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 la. But that's not the world we live in, and it's not going to happen because I wish it. It has to happen because people do the work of having the conversation, go through the tedium and the monotony and the irritation and the pointless, silly ridicule and the silly, you know, I'm going to pigeonhole you as a pessimist. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. All the game playing, all the semantics, all the word games, the bullshit. Yeah, you have to endure all of that to fight the war, to fight the problem. You are the problem, N.D. Clark. Sitting here just saying, oh, well, everybody just keep on doing what you're doing because it's all just so great. We just can't be any more profitable as a business. We're just making tons and tons of money. You know. Oh, yeah, so what? We killed a few million people. Oh, that big deal. Fuck the victims.
Lives for animals. So, I think that pessimistic view is...
Yeah, right. The pessimistic view means, oh, you mean you're aware that this whole thing costs some money and somebody should pay and somebody should account for the price being paid, and you're just imposing the price on those people or those animals. Those things are paying the price, and they're thoses. They don't matter. You know, like the slaves. They're not real people. We don't have to worry about those. The victims aren't real. Okay, they're fakey things. They're just little complainy things. Screw them. They don't have any fucking rights. What's a right? They don't have any of those. You have the right to go to Disneyland. Okay, and you don't have a right to complain if it kills you. Fuck you. Yeah, probably. Just fuck you. You're so arrogant. You're going to tell me that life is good. What, a corporation tell you that? Is that what happened? You know, you all of a sudden had a eureka moment. LG. Life is good! Yeah, you're proving it with what? Mush. Here's a bowl of mush. Does it prove life is good? It's all worth it. I don't care how much you suffer. I don't care how many animals get tortured. I don't care. Because I'm worth it. You're not. You're not even close.
A waste of energy, in my view. You can make your point about antinatalism without being so negative about everything.
Oh, fuck this. I mean, you can make your point about First off, I'm an ethicist, okay? So life at its core is the whole point. All right? I want to rescue all the sentient organisms from pointless, redundant death. All right? And in the natural world, it happens all the time, and it happens to children primarily. Okay, 99.3% of the organisms that die on this planet, okay, are children. The real number is something like that. I mean, that's how it works. And you're saying that's okay. Go ahead and kill 99% of the children. Because as long as I get one out of the deal, it's fine. As long as one of them reaches maturity, that's fine. So kill the 10,000 step. Why? If I gave you 10,000 turtles, 10,000 little baby turtles, and I told you, N.D. Clark, you think life is so great. Okay, well, it's your job to go out there and step on 999,000 of them. So 9,999, you have the job to step on them, okay? Crush them. Go ahead. That's your job. As a life lover, show me how much you love life, how much you love the game, how spectacular you think the glory is, how beautiful and wondrous it is. Go show me that you believe that, okay? And go out there and have fun stepping on 9,999 little baby turtles. Go ahead. Show me. And I could use an example that's more, that'll tug at you even more, like little prairie dogs or baby lion cubs or all of them. And it's the same frickin' ratio, jerk. I mean, it's not exactly 10,000 to 1, but I mean, you're going to be stepping on an awful lot of kittens. That's going to be your job as a life lover. So if you had any honesty, you'd say, yes, I could do that and eat my lunch and enjoy it. I can have my little scooter pie sandwich, okay, with, a scooter pie and an ice cream and a scooter pie, because I'm Southern, we do that kind of thing. And I'll be happy, happy, happy. Well, go ahead and make that argument, state that as a fact, and I'll call you what you are, a fucking nihilist. You're the fucking nihilist pointing your finger saying nihilism. You're the one that has the disease. You have the fucking nihilist cooties. God damn. Yeah, I was going to watch this video and try to contrive some kind of pleasant response, but yet this rhetoric is so fucking infantile.
In everyone in life. And all politics is evil. I know I'm pigeonholing some of his thoughts.
Yeah, that's right. I've made the point that politics is pointless in this environment because you're either a nutter to the left or a nutter to the right. And if you're anything in between, you're just a half a nutter here and a half a nutter there. Fuck you. You don't have a voice. So there's no fucking point. In the current atmosphere, there's no point in opening your mouth in any kind of rational way because the two irrational fringes are who's fighting. The 30% of the kooks on the left and the 30% of the kooks on the right own the fucking territory right now. So there's just no fucking point. There probably hasn't been any point for quite a while, but that's what it is, okay? People don't want the truth. They just want flags and banners and hats. They don't want real solutions to anything. One side wants everything for free, and the other side wants all the slaves to go back to being slaves.
But
I mean, real slaves, officially slaves.
I don't see what it is that he's trying to convey on some things because
You're stupid. It's the simple answer.
it seems futility, is at the center of what he thinks.
No. If the futility was at the center, I'd be deliriously happy. If that's all I was worried about is you people are spinning around in circles and it doesn't cost anything, I'd say go ahead and do that fucking forever, okay? Dance your silly dance. The fact that you're dancing on the 10,000 turtles, that's the part that's bugging me. Okay, the little kitten screaming, that's the part that's bugging me, shithead. This isn't about fucking futility, it's about fucking torture, and it's about the fact that you seem very immune to it being significant and meaningful. I happen to think it is incredibly meaningful, okay? The slow, miserable, horrible death from maggots eating you alive just isn't something I can say, yeah, okay, let's just accept that as part of the fun. No, screw it. If you can't fix the roller coaster, you can't ride on the roller coaster. It's just a fact. If it's going to throw kids out now and then, just randomly, the spring shoots them into the air, well, if you can't do better than that, then you close the fucking ride. And I don't think you can make this thing into anything better than that, because it's not a beautiful, universal, blah 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 happy thing that's going on in the universe. It's a mechanical thing, okay? There's no way to make a good machine until you make the good mosquito to bite it. Until you make a problem, you can't solve a problem. So life has to make a problem to solve a problem, and that's really stupid. Circularly dumb.
You can get too close to us.
So again, it is very far from anything primary to my argument that futility has anything to do with it. My only argument about futility is you think, okay, that the rose, smelling a rose or something is some sort of magnificent event that we all need to do 6 bazillion times. Over and over again, and there's something accomplished. And I'm saying, no, there really isn't anything. You do it once, you're done. Fuck it. Okay, it's futile. You're not winning anything. Okay, running around catching your own ass is not an accomplishment.
Subject too close to the ground to look at what ants do and lose the bigger picture of what they're actually doing.
Oh yeah, right. Because he knows what they're actually doing. What are they actually doing except creating carnage? They kill each other. The queen kills all of her subjects. It exploits the fuck out of them. They're enslaved to a stupid mechanism they don't even understand. It's just creating more slaves. It's a slave-making engine. Just make more slaves, to do more slavery, to create more soldiers to fight in more wars. I mean, it's just a little war machine. It's a little it's an industrial complex. And you think you really know what it is. What it really is peace and love. Well, no, it really isn't. And you can't make a rational argument that anything is accomplished, but you just tortured a bunch of little fucking critters. You really think insects sit around going, oh man, let's go get some beer and chase down some bitches and have kind of sloppy and unpleasant sex because life is fun? What do you think is going on this planet anyway? I mean, all you jackasses telling me, oh, it's all so fucking happy. You look fairly miserable, frankly. You don't look all that comfortable here. Okay, and your past videos indicated that you were quite, life is really a pain in the ass. And here you are just selling it. Selling some more of this stupid heroin.
You simplify things when you get very close. I would call that reductionism.
Who cares what you call it? I call you jerk. How's that? You're jerkyism. Jerky, stupid, baby talk mush. Anybody who's rational dissects the things around him to understand them. Only a moron says, don't peel the bark off the tree. Don't cut anything in half. Don't ever take anything apart to understand it. Let everything stay a mystery. Never put your hand into the water to see if there's water behind the water. You know, never do anything. A moron does that. A moron thinks less information is more information. God, don't bother going to school. They'll just teach you stuff, and you don't want to know anything because it's easier to be a nihilist the more ignorant you are. So again, you're just the definition of the thing. You point your finger and say other people have this queerness. You're the queero.
That's even though it's not a philosophy. But you can reduce things down to its simplest, most component parts. And in reductionism, in physics or in the physical world, reductionism, you break things down to its simple parts. When you look at biology and you look at biological processes, reductionism doesn't seem to work real well. You have to step.
I don't even know what that means. It doesn't seem to work that well. Why? There's a God gene somewhere. We're doing something really magical. No, I see us doing exactly what everything else on the planet's doing through evolution. They're scheming, okay, and they have weapons. They have certain defenses like fur and this, and then they have certain tools, weapons, swords, teeth, and claws, and they're all programmed to use those weapons and defenses to their maximum advantage, to go out and step on as many turtles as they can. What other magic ingredients are there, Ned? Whatever your name is. I forget.
Back and look at the organism as a whole in order to understand it. And I think that we should do that. If we're looking at antinatalism, we're looking at any philosophy. Don't just look at things at a microscopic view. Pull back.
Oh, well, whatever. Again, and how are you showing us how you have done that? That you both looked at it with a magnifying glass and then you walked away and looked at the forest. Show me where you ever looked at a tree. Show me where you ever, did any of this. Looking at the forest, what do you see on this blue ball? You see it gushing with all kinds of toxic waste. You see tons of unsustainable behavior that will lead to millions of deaths. You see coronaviruses. You see all kinds of different things that are happening. Okay, all kinds of little elements of this chaos. You see the black stuff being pulled out of the earth, and it's going to run out, and then there won't be any more free energy, and then they'll have to burn more nukes, and then the nukes, they'll sit there and they'll put cheap batteries, cheap Chinese batteries in the damn things, then they'll melt down, and the radioactivity will get into the, you're just so unrealistic in giving me this pretty picture of what's going on planet Earth. Idiocracy's winning. The freaking people who are breeding are getting dumber and dumber and dumber. The average IQ of the people breeding, I mean, I bet you if they ever took those statistics, I bet you it's lost 20 points in the last 30 years.
Look at the whole big picture. Life is good.
For what? For creating torture? How's it good for the sea turtles? Just explain to me, how's it good for turtles? If 1 in 10,000 survive to be an adult, how is it good to live 10,000 lives getting stepped on so you can live one life where you get to have sex and then get stepped on? I mean, I could pause for a million years waiting for you to answer that question, but I don't think you'll have a rational answer. I don't think you'll ever be able to tell me how. Oh yeah, I would volunteer for that. Sure, you can squish me. I mean, apply pressure till my guts pop out of my mouth 10,000 times. And then every 10,000th time, after being squished, I get to have sex and then get squished. You would buy that ticket. I mean, how much would you pay for that ticket? Okay, so that's the fun ride you just can't wait to get to. I just can't wait to get my turn on this fun ride. Right? And you see what the average human being's condition is, right? So you have to be born in Indonesia, and then you're born in India, and then you're born in China, and then you're born in all of these crappy places. So every 20 times, the 20th time you get born, you're lucky you get born in America or some civilized country in Europe. But there's still a chance you get parents that are going to molest you. You get parents that are going to ignore you. Parents that are going to be so obsessive that you be perfect that you end up with a psychiatric disorder and kill yourself at 15. I mean, you're saying you want the gauntlet. You want to keep jumping on that ride. Every single time you get on it, you die. Plus, there are all kinds of chances that you're going to get tortured before you're killed. Just so you can have sex? Fuck. I mean, damn it. It's just too stupid. And you're talking to me like, I'm missing some boat somewhere. I haven't seen enough trees or enough forest. No, you're the clueless fuck.
Living is good. Living is also horrid and evil and horrific.
Oh, that's much talk then. Okay, so what's the point of that? Okay. The whole argument is what's the price, and is the price worth what you're getting for it? And more importantly, you have this ability to shove the price into somebody else's pocket. Should you exercise that ability? Should you exercise the ability to negate the rules and say, okay, the civilized rule, and say it's okay, I'll make a decision for somebody else and he chose to buy it. I'll impose the risk on a new player. Where did you get that right from? That's the important one. Where do you think you have the right to tell somebody else it's worth it?
Going on in humanity is a good thing. We're moving towards a better society. I think in a few hundred years.
Oh boy, are you ever delusionally kooky. I'm sorry, I don't see a single piece, a shred of evidence of that. Not even the shred, it's the smallest of shreds. The public conversation just gets dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber. I mean, what the fuck? There's a complete imbecile who's president of the United States, and people are pretending he's even has something like even a measurable IQ, like he is not a complete imbecile. Oh man, you're dumb.
I'm being optimistic, but I think
oh, whatever. So yes, you're being optimistic, and then you're, what's the point of playing the game then? All right, you're being optimistic, and then you're going to make a video about how it's not right to be pessimistic. Shit. That makes great sense.
100 years will be a lot better than where we are today, just like we're better off than where we were.
Oh, gee, you're just so delusional. A ton of unsustainable things exist in this world right now, and the pain that's going to be endured when those unsustainables have to be corrected. Right now, there's a ton of IOUs in the rich man's pockets. Billions and billions, maybe $100 billion worth of the rich man's wealth is promises you don't have any pie to pay. You don't have the money. You have to mortgage your children. You have to mortgage their future. Okay, somehow you have to sell them into slavery to ever pay those debts back. They can't really be paid in real money. They can't. So whose money are you going to pay them? When the shit hits the fan and those people come to the bank and say, give me the money I put in your bank, what are you going to give them? One of your stories about how everything's going to be great in 200 years? They're not going to buy that. They're not going to accept that as payment. When you go to the bank, you're going to want something real, right? You're not going to want to show up at the bank with some N.D. Clark guy at the other side saying, no, you can't really have your money, okay? But everything will be much better 200 years from now, so don't worry about it.
Several hundred years ago. Not just from technology, but we have evolved as a species.
Oh, whatever. We've evolved as a species is nonsense. You can say we have learned to become more civilized and decent and less schemy and selfish. No, there's more lying going on now than ever.
Be more humane towards each other.
Oh, brother, you're just too stupid.
Yes, there's still a lot of bad things going on in the world. There's still war.
Yeah, that's right. People work all day for enough money to buy a hamburger. But we haven't evolved, okay, from the mass migrations of the past where, you worked all day picking peaches and you couldn't even buy a pound of peaches.
There's still hatred. There's still child abuse and neglect and animal abuse. And
Yeah, whatever. Animals. Yeah, that's right. Animals have been suffering for you know, for whatever, a million years anyway. I mean, 100 million years. No, I mean, a billion years. A billion years. Holy fuck. God. All right, no, they've had sensation for, let's say, 300 million. They've been going ouch for 300 million years. This has nothing to do with humans doing better or any of this crap. So again, you're just saying all of the suffering that happened to the cavemen, before humans got civilization, language, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many hundreds of thousands of years they lived in horrible deprivation. We're worth it. You'd do it all over again because you think you're so fucking cool. I think it's a laughably mockable argument. I mean, it's just so fucking silly that you actually think your human race is doing something civilized, beautiful, decent. Ugh, pathetic. I wonder if he has a flag in his yard. Ugh.
And yes, these things are horrific. There's still malnutrition, there's still disease, but at some point we're working towards a society, if you look at it closely,
where more children are born into poverty than ever before. Yeah, even in the rich countries, children are born into poverty. It's really not getting better, Ned.
We're working towards a society where things are getting better. Things are getting better. But you have to be optimistic in your viewpoint.
Or whatever that is. You have to be optimistic. That's like saying you have to have faith. No, you have to be realistic. Being realistic means you look at what we are and understand you're just a robot. You're just puking what you ate. Okay, the environment fed you, and now you are feeding the environment back. You're just gurgitating it to your young. That's all we're doing here. We're just robots. We're just programmed by circumstances. And here you are programmed by the circumstance to talk this tripe about how let's all go team go. Like the baseball game matters. You really think the stupid baseball game matters. And it's just so fucking stupid. It's just carnage. It's just wasted energy. It heals nothing. It cures nothing. It does nothing. It wastes fucking energy. It just torments things.
If you're being too pessimistic in your viewpoint, then that's going to color everything you see in life.
Oh, whatever. Now it's the colored glass argument. You haven't proven my glasses are in any color whatsoever. You won't demonstrate with any kind of rational argument that mine are the colored glasses and yours are the clear glasses. That's just a pile of crap, okay? Your theory, in my opinion, of the function of human beings, the dissection, what the dissection shows when you open this critter up and look at its guts, it shows that it's just a frickin' machine. It's not doing anything, okay? They're just machines chasing an artificial want, a want invented for no good reason but to make it chase something. It's sea turtle on highway. It's got little flippers. It's not going anywhere. It's just not going to work. There's nothing to make here but problems.
Life is obviously worth living. You're living. You're continuing.
Oh, whatever. This crap. Again, it has nothing to do with whether I value the function. I clearly would not choose to do this, okay? I will not ever vote for doing it over again. I have no desire to impose the risk on anyone else, and I certainly don't want it imposed on me. So be clear. But yes, while I'm here, I'm not going to fucking waste the fact that I'm already here. I already speak English. I can already shoot the gun, so to speak. Then I might as well get in the war. Why should I force somebody else to have to do it? If I don't go to Germany and fight, somebody else has to, right? If no army shows up, then Hitler wins, right? I mean, these are the simple arguments. Do you really think if I had no passion for this activity, that I would spend much time just sitting here blissfully on the planet, just doing blissful things? Do you think I have the temperament for it? No, there's all kinds of problems. If antinatalism, effalism, fixing the big picture, well, there's lots of little pictures. There's kittens right now. There's stupid policies on Earth. There's all kinds of inequity, all kinds of unfairnesses to be fixed. Who's going to do it? Somebody has to put on soldier suits and do soldier work.
Live, even if you believe in antinatalism, even if you believe that all life should be extinguished tomorrow, if you can do it painfully, even if you believe...
No, painlessly, you meant to say.
That you have to believe that there's some things in life that are worth living for.
Whatever. No, I think there's just problems that need solutions. Again, I don't try to win the lottery to advance myself or to go positive. I'm avoiding negative. I'm avoiding worrying about paying bills anymore and all the blights of poverty. This isn't a game where you're trying to win something. You're trying not to lose. And dying obviously is a kind of loss, because even though you can say the words painlessly, it doesn't seem like it's going to be all that painless.
I think that you go about the majority maybe of your day and you're okay. You're not in pain. You're not in constant...
Oh, whatever. No, we're all in the same kind of, you have little lines in your face from squinting, from, oh, shit. Ugh, lots of moments, okay? My forehead is very, 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 very creased, okay? Because I've spent a lot of time going, yeah, a lot of time. It's all kind of tedious and redundant and nauseating and, yeah.
Discomfort some people may be. But life is worth living.
Oh, says you. I mean, just such baby talk. Baby's worth living, so says the retard with a pink balloon. What does that mean? It certainly means nothing to me as an argument, okay? Ned says so. Who fucking cares? It doesn't mean anything. He says it's okay. Go out there, Gary, and step on those 10,000 turtles and enjoy it, because it's all worth it. Fuck you.
You can find the good things in life if you look.
Oh, again, this idea that I don't know what's good. I don't know how to please myself. Yeah, I do. That's not the problem. I can't produce immunity, okay, to the blights. I can't. So I'm going to be blighted personally. And yet again, I'm not really complaining about that. I'm complaining about the part where I have to go out and watch the kittens die. Or I have to go out and step on the turtles. That's the part I'm complaining about. I don't want anything to do with that crap.
But you have to be creative. And you can't reduce everything down to say, well, since we come into life with no...
You have to be creative. So that's his plan. He buys some permamold and smears that on, the plastic woman's face or so. I don't know. You have to be creative. You draw a different face on your whatever, buy a slave torture doll.
No purpose that we're not handed a golden manual with no pain in it of our purpose in life, that it has some magical thing that's supposed to happen to each and every human being.
Again, this isn't about any supposed to or maybe or pot. No, it's about inevitabilities and statistics. It's about the real fucking world, Ned. Okay, this is how the real world works. Is millions of immature organisms will be tortured to death. And you say, I'm worth it. And that's all you're doing. Yours is a little percentage of all that torture is your percentage, let's call it. And you're saying you're worth it. Well, I'm not saying I'm worth it.
With no discomfort whatsoever, that life isn't worth living. That isn't true. No. You make your own purpose.
Oh, whatever. Again, this idea that because you believe you're good, you're good. It doesn't matter how many women you raped, or it doesn't matter how many people you stole from. It doesn't matter what you do. You think you're great, you're great. Now, fuck you.
Out of it. Some of your purpose is already established. You should be A kind, decent, loving, warm.
Oh, whatever, all that. Again, all this more bullshit about fake words, love. How much pain how much torture has fake love caused people? Kindness. What is kindness? I'm going to bribe you. I'm going to extort you. you know, is there any real kindness? And again, let's not even bother bringing up the animal subject, because again, it's just exploitation. Love me. I'll make slaves out of you, to make my pets, and I don't care about how many of those go feral and have to live miserable lives. And then I'll eat you. I'll fucking go right out there and I'll eat you. I'll torture your babies. Fuck you. Make this speech to somebody else. I don't need to know how to be decent. I am decent. You're the indecent fuckers. You're the ones killing the animals, harming the animals, and harming each other. I'm not harming anybody. I don't need any lessons on how to be kind and decent. Fuck you. Your side is the one covered in fucking nihilistic neglect. You're the one that says, go ahead, who cares? Victims are assholes.
Human being as much as possible. Those are the good things in life. It's not just, that there should be no pain or discomfort and everything should be perfect. It's an organism. Like,
oh, God. I mean, this is such tripe. I know you're just a robot talking the shit that was put in your little brain by mommy when she was a Christian, and she taught you all this little Christian rhetoric. And maybe you're just stuck. You can't break that Christian record, so you're just still thinking, God wouldn't make a stupid world. Yeah, but evolution would. Yeah, dumbass.
It is a struggle. It evolved from a struggle. It's continuing to evolve. Society.
Again, what's evolving? This evolving word. What's evolving? We're genetically not evolving into anything. So that's horse shit. We're not becoming pedigree. We're becoming mutt. Okay, eventually we'll be having sex with salamanders again. We're going backward genetically, not forward. So that ain't happening. We're not specializing and becoming more specific. We're becoming sloppier and more messy in terms of our adaptations. So that's horseshit. And then what's you could say our intelligence is evolving, but again, in my opinion, I'm on the right side of that curve, and you're way on the wrong side of that curve. You're talking the old, archaic, primitive, bullshit. Negate the evil by having some faith in some sort of fake bullshit happily ever after story that just is that. It's a pile of shit. Every single fable we indoctrinate little children with has some stupid happily ever after crap. Well, why don't they end the story the right way, like Sleeping Beauty or something? Oh yes, and he kissed her, and then they had sex a few times, and they had some nasty kids, and they were a real problem. One was a drinker, and blah 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 blah, and he tried to steal the castle, and then they grew old and got disabled, and then they got cancer and died. Yeah, tell the fucking truth. Your fairy tales. It's worth it. No, it isn't.
Intelligence is what is making life better.
Well, again, so you're not using intelligence if you're lost in a fable about how you're winning. Not recognizing you're fucking retarded, okay, and you're in a race that can't be won because the race doesn't go anywhere.
I mean, even you can see progress in 20, 30-year spans if you pull back enough and look.
Oh, whatever. This is just, again, this is just so fucking closed-minded. What do you think the progress is going to be? Double chocolate, triple chip? I mean, where do you think you're going with your better desire, better gratification? No, it's always just going to be crude, biological. You're always just feeding sharks. Okay, you can pretend with civilization and intelligence, I'm doing something sophisticated. No, you're just feeding sharks of desire. That's all there is. There isn't anything else to do in the universe but feed a shark. Feed an asshole.
You can look at your own individual life and say, well, I find a lot of things that are just horrible. And maybe so.
Oh, whatever. Again, this isn't my individual life. There's nothing about my videos that are me going, oh, my big toe is too crookedy. Oh, I have a pain in my mole on my elbow. I'm not sitting here bitching about my circumstances, shithead. I'm bitching about the circumstances people are keep redundantly imposing. I'm talking about the unsustainable and plainly irrational choices people are making
Maybe so. I can't judge
that impose all of this nonsense, that perpetuate stupid, moronic, wasted torture. You people are wasting torture. That's a terrible thing to be doing.
that for each individual. But for society, things are getting better.
Oh, just keep saying it. I mean, on so many levels, it's clear it's not getting better. The amount of drugs people have to take to get through their lives. The amount of times they have to die of cancer. Oh, shit. I mean, what a pile of crap.
Medicine's getting better. Lifespans are getting longer. People are living better lives in general.
Says you again. I mean, it's just better than what? I mean, just hour to hour feeling experience. The amount of time you're alive and how healthy you are. Obviously, people died much younger. Guess what? They died much healthier. Okay, they spent a lot less of their life miserable and disabled and more of their life healthy and strong. So that equation doesn't even work. Even though they lived to be 25 years old, well, at least there were 25 healthy years and they didn't spend 60 years disabled. So again, this is just bullshit.
Now, does Mendham have the best life? Gary? I don't know. I doubt it. He looks like he's in a bad way.
Yeah, no, I'm only in a bad way because I live in a bad game. And I'm watching a bunch of shit every day. I have to think about it because that's the responsible thing to do, is not to pretend it doesn't happen every fucking day. Right now, it's happening. I can imagine all kinds of horrible things. Right now, a little kitten somewhere is sitting in the rain getting wet. It's getting too cold and it's going to die of hypothermia. Right now, it's happening. And it's, where's my mother? Blah, blah, blah. And all this is happening. It's happening all the time. Okay, right now, something got hit by a car. And now its guts are actually hanging out of its body. And it's going to walk around like that for a while. And it's not going to know that this isn't going to work. It's not going to go away. It's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to drag life. It's going to suck its life out of it slowly but surely. All right, and it's going to be miserable and horrible, and it's happening all the fucking time on an insanely huge scale, and you're just glibly saying, just eat your Fritos. Fuck it. Your Cheetos. Just eat your Cheetos. Cheetos, cool. Cheetos, cool. You know, like some kind of Japanese happy cat. You know? You're just propagandizing for a big lie. A stupid game that shouldn't be played ever because nothing smart would play it. Only a dumbass would choose to play this tic-tac-toe for blood and guts. Only a crazy fuck, okay, would sit there and put their house on the edge of this cliff.
In a lot of ways, but don't let someone color your opinion about life because they view life in that way.
Oh, whatever. Don't let anybody color anything. Let arguments persuade you. Be persuaded because somebody makes an argument, an explanation. They draw you a fucking picture of it, a mental picture. They tell you something like the truth. They don't say, turtles go to fairyland and everything is okay. No, this is what really happens. Okay? Baby turtles are mass murdered by nature. It's just a fact. And I can go through all the other animals that are mass murdered as children. Raped even and mass murdered. Okay? And you're just saying, I don't care. It's that simple. There's no complex argument here. You're just saying, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. It didn't happen to me. I don't care. And then you're saying that to every human victim. You're saying, oh, I don't care that you were born with a negative attitude or a depressive personality or you have the wrong hormones or you think you're you think you're a chipmunk. I don't care you were born thinking you were a chipmunk. Okay? I wasn't, so fuck you. That's all you're doing, Ned. You're saying you can tell the victims to shut up.
Look at things on your own. Look at things and judge things.
Yeah, think about being a victim. Think about the victims out there. Think about the fact that there for the grace of dumb luck, it's not you. And it will be you, though, because look at the people who are breeding. And guess what? They're not going to breed you into the golden nest of paradise. You're not going to be born in the Trump Tower. You're going to be born in a shithole. Because assholes like this keep saying, it's okay, keep doing stupid things over and over again.
On your own. Don't let someone else color your version of the way life should be. Do you find purpose? Can you find purpose? Can you love?
This isn't about finding purpose and finding love and all this kind of crap. Yes, can you gratify your little needs? Can you figure out how to lift the food to your mouth and eat it? Can you figure out how to eat something that doesn't torture something? Of course you can. Can you find out how to pleasure your or satisfy your loneliness without sitting there saying, I'm going to steal somebody else's life and welfare and force her to, be barefoot and pregnant and wash dishes for the rest of her life? I mean, can you take your gratification from the world without stealing it and so overtly from somebody else, without expecting somebody to be your servant or your slave? Yeah, of course, you can do all those things. So what? The point is you don't make one of these monsters in the first place. And they are monsters. I wonder how many people N.D. Clark really thinks are super cool. Like they're going down the street and he says, oh, that's just such a super cool person. They're such a super cool human. I just don't buy it that he'd want to live their life.
Can you be loved? Can you be kind? Can you be decent? These are the good.
Oh, bullshit. This doesn't have anything to do with what life is. Again, and there's no evidence that I'm giving people life advice. Oh, this is how to be happy. I don't make those videos, Ned. Not even close to the right subject. Okay, you should be able to take care of that yourself. It really isn't that complicated, right? Hungry, horny, just find a civilized way to satisfy those two little desires and you're pretty much done.
Things in life. Yes, religion's fucked a lot of things up. We know that. Everyone knows that. Even the people who are religious knows religion has fucked a lot of things up.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, that doesn't even make any sense. No, the whole problem is they don't think they fucked everything up.
But I think over time, we will let go of religions and crazy belief systems that are harmful to society, harmful to people.
Well, right now, that's not what's winning. So again, your argument is that we're heading there when every bit of evidence is that a kid is more likely to be born into religion now than at any time in the last 50 years. Because only the religious kooks are having kids. Only the morons are having kids. And you think it's because morons are smart. No, it's because morons are stupid. That's why they're having kids. Because it's a stupid, irresponsible, arrogant, obnoxious thing to do to tell somebody else it's worth it. Like you, Ned. It really sucks that you're sitting telling other people they should believe what you believe because you believe it. You didn't make a fucking rational argument defending any of this mush. You just said, it's much easier to live if you don't pay any attention to how much it costs.
It's going to take a long time. But life is worth living.
Fuck you in that statement. You proved it with nothing. You demonstrated with no evidence. You just negated all of the victims and just said they're not worth your consideration. You're being a pessimist if you're paying attention to how much they suffer so you can do your hokey pokey dance.
Peace.
Again, one of these cliche nothing ending. Peace. Love. Horseshoes. Battery. Razor blade. There, I'll end my video with razor blade. Meaningless drivel. There, that's the one. That's the best meaningless drivel. For everyone. Peace. Fuck. What the fuck? Anyway. Okay, so no point in talking to humans. Shudder to think just how dumb. See, I mean, this guy isn't a dumb guy, right? And he can't even talk anything meaningful, right? He's learned some vocabulary. He's probably watched Bill Buckley at least once in his life. He's seen some people do some articulate things. He's probably listened to some violin music. He's probably done some kind of something sophisticated and complex and intricate, and yet he talks this drivel, this empty, la la, don't worry, be happy, everything's going to be okay because stepping on turtles is just okay. Well, it's okay. Guts squishing is good, mostly. I mean, what? There's no argument here. It's just fucking negation. So he's just doing his little selfish, nihilist, I will just pretend that all the things that didn't happen to me aren't all that meaningful. So if I didn't die, dying isn't so bad. I don't have cancer, so cancer can't be so bad. Nothing can be so bad as long as I don't do it. So if I didn't get flung out of the roller coaster, the ride was great, then everything's fine. And it just doesn't matter that I witnessed a bunch of other kids flying out. That's not information. That's reductionism. I'm being too reductionist because I paid attention when the other kids got flung out of the roller coaster. And he'd be dumb enough to get back on the ride because he'd think, I'm lucky. I'm not going to be born one of those assholes. Like, I'm not going to be born a regular person. I'm not going to be born the average Homer Simpson dumbass. Yeah, you are. That's going to be your fate, buddy. You're going to live it over and over again. It's going to be a long-term prison that you're going to be sent to where you just keep being born an asshole over and over and over again. Wearing the same spandex. Too stupid. Now see, I wouldn't care. If you were just torturing yourself, I'd say, go ahead, Ned. Torture yourself. Be an asshole. But you're going to force me to do it over and over again. That's the part I really resent. How dare you defend anyone's right to tell any other sentient creature, you should be Frankenstein. It's fun. Fuck you. Okay. Enough of a video and such.